Today I want to talk about body composition and exercise and just a little bit. I mean, we'll get into this more later, but I wanted to go ahead and do a little short segment because we are going to be going into the kitchen, I promise, and I'm going to start showing you some ways to eat. And so when I go in there and show you how to eat and how we eat, I want you to have some idea of what kind of body you are creating when you eat this way. I want you to have an idea of what you have to look forward to. You know, I don't want you to think that, oh, is for, eating this way, vegetarian and vegan, I like to work out, I want to have muscle. You can still have muscle. Actually, you have more muscle when you're eating greens and veggies than you do eating meat. You really don't have to worry about gaining muscle, and I will show you. First of all, I'm going to show you my youngest son. He's 15 years old, and he's actually, of course he's been eating the same way we have for the same amount of time, but I think what gives him a little bit of an extra edge is that he has been eating that way longer as far as like the percentage of his life, because he's the youngest. So it's been a bigger part of his life, even though he's been eating that way the same amount of years that we have, or the same amount of time, but he's younger, so he's been eating that way for a larger portion of his life than we have, if that makes sense. So I want to show you, of course he does work out, but he doesn't work out like a lot. I mean, he, a few little push-ups here and there. I mean, he doesn't kill himself to work out. So a lot of the body is created in the way you eat. You are what you eat, and abs are made in the kitchen. And that doesn't mean that you don't need to work out if you really want to see more shape and more definition. You do need to work out if you want to see more of that, but you're not going to you're not going to you're never going to be able to out-exercise a bad diet. So you want to always make sure your diet is first. And that's why I've talked mostly about diet before we get into exercise and fitness and working out, because there's no sense in trying to work out if you're not going to eat right. Because all you're going to do is just keep putting those bad things back in your body. That's going to keep putting the fat back on your abs and your midsection. And there's no point. You can't out-exercise a bad diet. I was watching a video today, and it had a really good saying on there. It said, "Eat meticulously and train ridiculously." That's a really good way, even though it's a pretty extreme way to put it. But yeah, eat very carefully, watch what you eat, and then, be active like crazy, just be active all the time. So we're going to take a look at Brad and see how his muscles look. He has some insane calf muscles. I mean, the biggest I've ever seen, especially for a 15-year-old. And he's just, he's an amazing little man, so, or big man he's becoming. And also wanted to just show you a few exercises that you can do with weights, and just show you some things that you can do to go ahead and start shaping up your body a little bit. But I do want to be able to show you how you can create or transform your body into a different shape than what you have right now currently. And most of it is, like, I would say 90% of your body, the way it looks, is going to come from your diet. And then you can tweak it. That's what I call it. Just tweak it with exercise and with lifting weights. And there's a lot of other benefits to lifting weights besides muscles, but I'll talk to you about that in another video. And for me, when you start exercising, if you're doing that with a lot of extra weight, if you're not at the weight that you want to be at and you start exercising, to me it's just kind of, it's extra work. Why would you do that? First of all, you have all this extra weight on you, which is bringing your energy down. And so you're trying to exercise. First of all, you don't even have a desire to exercise because you don't feel like exercising, because you don't have the energy. You have all this extra weight. I mean, even if it's only 20, 25 pounds, which is what I had, it was a lot. And that can be enough to really make you, drag you down. Or even if you just don't have the energy from the foods that you're eating, they're taking energy and not giving you energy. So if you get in there and you start exercising but you're not eating right, to me, and you have this extra weight on you, it's like trying to climb a mountain with a huge weight on your back. It's like, isn't it easier just to put the weight down and then run up the mountain? That's what makes sense, right? So to me, when you have extra weight you want to lose and you're trying to work out, it's like making it just harder, and you don't even have the desire, and you don't have the energy, and it's just harder. Now, I mean, having said that, I will also say that that doesn't mean that you can't go ahead and get active in some way to try to speed up the process, because it does help. Like, you can start walking, that would be great. But I'm just saying, for me personally, it was just really hard for me to get motivated to lose weight just through exercise. If you don't have that diet down right, just don't, put yourself through the grueling aerobic and cardio, and then you're just going to go back in the kitchen and eat wrong. I mean, you're not getting anywhere. I did that. I worked out with a personal trainer who was a friend of mine, so it was kind of a free thing. So it was twice a week, every Tuesdays and Thursdays for like 40 minutes to an hour, every single Tuesday and Thursday for 2 months. I did not lose weight. I actually gained weight, because I wasn't changing what I was putting in my mouth. And so once I got all that weight off, which I will tell you in another video how I did that, and it was very, very extreme, I will say, and I don't recommend it for everybody, but for me personally, it's what I felt I had to do. I'm kind of impatient, and I couldn't wait months for this weight to come off. I needed it off now. I was sick and tired of it, and so I did it pretty quickly. But then once you get all that weight off and you have all this energy, you don't have to try to make yourself exercise. You want to exercise. You need to exercise. You need to get that energy out. I mean, it's a need. And so you'll start doing it, and the more you exercise, energy begets energy. The more you exercise, the more you want to exercise. It gives you more energy the more you move, and the less you eat gives you more energy. And I want to tell you something about all these, 5-6 meals a day stuff. I'm sorry, I don't know why everybody has taken that as, the Bible or something, because that is not the way our bodies were meant to eat. I understand what they're trying to trick their body into doing is keeping their metabolism up, but all you're doing is wreaking havoc on your body. You are never giving it a chance for the digestive system to rest, and that is not a good thing. I think in the fitness world, and I'm all into fitness, I'm all into that, but I work out, I exercise, but I do not think that eating even 3 meals a day is the best. If you want to really talk about the very best thing to do, 2 meals a day is really all that you need. Just think about it. If you think 5 or 6 meals a day is okay, well, what about 10 or 14? First of all, it doesn't even make common sense if you just stop and think about it. It's not even practical. It's not practical. It's so inconvenient. I mean, who has time to stop and make those meals every few hours? Your body never gets a chance to rest. It takes 2 to 4 hours for your stomach to empty. And before you're done with that one meal, you're going and putting another meal in. That stomach never gets a chance to rest. It is not good for your body to be eating constantly. And, people can manipulate their body. Yeah, they can do things and they can make it seem to work for them, and they're losing weight and they're getting muscle and all this. Doesn't mean it's healthy. You can manipulate things, and it's not, physiologically, it's not good on your system. It will eventually one day catch up with you, and when you're older, you might start seeing some problems. And I want to be healthy, not just now, but for the rest of my life. I'd like to still be able to work out at 90 years old and work out with weights and exercise. So it's not just about the here and now. You've got to be sensible. You've got to let it make sense. Not just think about today, think about tomorrow and down the road. Nobody in their 30s thinks about their 90s, because they're like, well, I don't really care what I feel like in my 90s. And then when you get to your 90s, you're going to be wishing you could go back and tell your 30-year-old self, I wish you would take care of me and not just did it all at one time and left some for me in my 90s, leave some energy for me, leave some health for me in my 90s. So when it comes to eating, I can tell you, and I haven't went to this, but this is my goal, is to go from 3 meals a day to 2 meals a day. We really do not need 3 meals a day. We really only need a large breakfast to get us going in the morning and a large lunch in the mid-afternoon, to where that kind of takes care of lunch and dinner, and then we really don't need anything else the rest of the day. We're about to go to sleep, and our bodies need to be able to rest, and you cannot get good sleep if your body is trying to digest food. And everybody has a problem sleeping, and that's probably one of the reasons why, is because the body cannot sleep if it is busy digesting food, which is one of the biggest activities that it has to do. It disrupts our sleep and causes all kind of bad dreams and stuff, those weird dreams that we have. I really do feel like sometimes that's whenever I've eaten too much, too close to bed, that I have all these crazy weird dreams, and they're very disturbing. So anyway, I really, that's our next thing, is to try to either eat no third meal, or a very light meal, like a smoothie or some fruit, just something very light, and then feast on the Word of God, with our family. And, yes, we come together at the end of the day to have that time where we can be together as a family, so it's hard to, like, say, skip dinner when you haven't seen each other all day. You can have time together without eating. You can sit at the table, you can have some fruit, and you can feast on the Word of God and talk to each other about what God has shown you throughout the day, or what you have done throughout the day, or what happened in your life, or how you dealt with this or that situation, and get each other's input. And when your mind isn't cloudy from all that food you just ate, you're fresh, you have energy, you have thoughts that you can share with each other and ideas, and it will blow your mind. Okay, so that's what my next goal is to get to that point. Not saying you can't eat 3 meals a day, but you surely do not need more than 3. You don't need in-between snacks and all that kind of stuff. I wish people would get that out of their mind and quit listening to the fitness industry on that and thinking that's going to help them lose weight and all that. It's just not healthy. I mean, you might lose weight that way, but it's not a healthy way. And we want to the goal isn't just to lose weight. The goal is to be healthy, and then the byproduct of that, the side effect of that, is losing weight. If you're healthy, you're going to lose weight. It's just something that comes with the program of getting healthy. You don't have to try to lose weight. Just try to be healthy, and then that will happen. But if you just focus on losing weight, it's probably not going to be a healthy way of doing it. So let's go see what Brad's muscles look like. Let's see some vegan muscle. Oh, all right. Look at that pretty calf. All right, what about the muscles on your arms?
Okay.
All right, turn the other way. My goodness. Wow, wait a minute. Show me the forearm. Ooh. Okay, stomach. Goodness gracious. Now that's some vegan muscle right there. Woo! I didn't know they were that. I haven't seen that. Quads. Well, you gotta do it longer than that. Quads. Alright. Calves. I don't know if you can see on camera how insanely big that is. But, okay. Biceps. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, that's good. How often do you work out to get those awesome muscles? 'Cause I don't think you work out a whole lot. I mean, it's mostly diet, isn't it?
Yeah, I work out probably just once a day, like during the week, like just 5 times a week, basically.
But not very long, like not an hour or anything.
About 30 minutes. Maybe.
30 minutes.
Maybe.
What do you do? Push-ups, curls with your dumbbells, and you play basketball, and that helps keep you lean and all that. But you don't like sit there and just like kill yourself working out hours every day or anything to get those muscles.
No, it doesn't take much. You just gotta put it in your schedule. Just do what your body needs and don't do any more or any less.
Awesome. Thank you. Like, you have to let your muscles rest in between, so you can't like work every single day the same muscle. Do need rest.
I usually do different body parts each day.
Yeah.
Keep it even. You don't want to wear yourself out, and your muscle's not really gonna have time to repair and grow.
That's right, and you need sleep to let them repair and grow.
Just like, I guess.
That's some, whoa, okay, it's gotta adjust.
It's gotta adjust.
Alright, very nice.
I don't know.
Just want to show everybody that we're not, it's not like we, now kind of turn it some, or turn to this.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right.
and then turn. There you go. Yeah, look at that striation. Right there is.
Okay, so I just figured that it was appropriate to mention that, well, is that I basically just eat the diet, so, and I don't do anything maybe more than, I got the only thing that I do that, no, let's not say that.
Physically active at work.
I'm physically active at my work, which is being a landscaper, but other than that, I don't lift weights or anything, so that's what I am. And my brother, on the other hand, does, so.
And even
You know,
not
this
a
is
whole
almost
lot.
like the two where you can get to. Is like you start doing this, you might look like me, and then you'll look like Brad if you do more.
Yeah, so you're just, that's from diet and just regular labor at your job, no lifting weights, no nothing.
Yeah, so it's just diet.
Alright, now turn it down. Yeah, looks good. Look at this. Like, you know, right beside you. Yeah, that looks good. Really good. Hey, girl. Look at that girl. Awesome. Talking a little more about muscles and exercise and getting into the fun part and all that. It's kind of ironic that Brad was wearing a Cookie Monster shirt, showing off his muscles, wearing a Cookie Monster shirt. But he likes the color and he likes Cookie Monster. So, actually, he has some other t-shirts. I'm going to show you those right now. Alright, can you show your muscle? Show us your muscle.
Again?
Just for this.
Okay, which ones?
Never mind, Brad. Alright.
Full of stuff on the ground.
Does it look like I'm missing protein? What's the back say? Vegetarianbody.com. Alright.
Sponsor.
Okay, so you saw Brad. Did it look like he was missing any protein? Okay, so when you get in the kitchen, I want you to get very motivated about what you're going to be eating in the kitchen and everything. And okay, first of all, I just want to show you the dumbbells that I use. These are the adjustable dumbbells. This is the Gold's Gym brand from Walmart. They're about $60. And there's two of them, one here. And all you do is you just put it at whatever weight you want it to be at. And then you just pick it up and it will take that weight. That way you don't have all these different dumbbells lying around. You just have one set that you can adjust. So nothing on here would be the 5 pound, just the bar would be 5 pounds, and then you have 10, 15, 20, 25. So these are really great. I highly recommend them. That way you don't have a whole bunch of dumbbells. You have to buy like a whole bunch of them, have them all laying around. You just got one set. I've had this for a while and I really enjoy it. Okay, so I'm just going to show you some basic exercises that you can do to get started. I'm going to show you some arm exercises, 3 of them. The first one is the bicep curl. And when you're doing these exercises, you want to make sure that you're lifting in a controlled motion. So you're not swinging your arms and using momentum to get the weight up. You want to use muscle, so you want to be in a controlled motion. So if you need to count, you can count like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Especially on the down motion, make sure that you're going slowly and not just dropping it, but being in a controlled motion. And your elbows need to stay planted in your sides. They don't need to be swinging up like this when you come up. Just needs to stay right here. So we're going to go for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Slowly down. Okay? Rest for a second, and the next one we're going to do is the shoulder press. So we're going to go over the shoulder, and we're going to go for 10. So 1, slowly down. 2, controlled. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and slowly down. Okay, the last one is going to be the tricep extension, and that's to work your triceps right here, the back of your arm. And we're going to go over the back of our head. So, go for 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, slowly, 8, 9, 10, and down. Okay, now I want to show you some exercises you can do that will help with your abs and your legs. I'm going to show you 3 of them, and they look really easy, but they're not. They are hard. And the first one's called hops. And so what we're going to do is it's a jump squat. So we're going to jump up as high as we can and then squat down. We're going to do 20 of those. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 jump squats. All right. The next one, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to jump up, squat down, and then go throw our legs back into a push-up position. Not going to actually do a push-up, but we could. I might do it on the last few, but we're going to go for 10. So we're going to jump up, squat down, and then go into a push-up position. Okay. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oops, almost did. 8. 9, 10. Okay, I did push up on the last 3. Okay, the last one is going to be called lunges, and we're going to go for 10. So we're going to put your hands behind your head, and you can also put your hands on your knee. But it's a little harder if you put your hands behind your head. And so we're going to do lunges. We're going to switch legs. We're going to do 10 on each side. All right, 10, ready? So we're going to go 1 and 1 and 2 and 2 and you switch legs, 3 and 3 and 4 and 5, 4 and 5, bounce, 5, bounce, 6, bounce, 6, bounce, 7, 8, 9, come on, 9, 10, and 10. Okay, that's 3 ab leg exercises that really get you going. All right, next, I'm going to show you some ab exercises. We're going to talk a little bit about abs for a minute. I'm going to show you 3. Okay, I want to talk about abs for a minute. And they say abs are made in the kitchen, and that is true. Diet has everything to do with being able to see your abdominal muscles. If you, I mean, you can work out and do ab workouts as much as you want to, and you're never going to see your abs because if you keep eating the wrong thing, you're just going to keep having a layer of fat over them. So you have got to remove the layer of fat through your diet, the way that you eat and how much you eat, in order to actually see the abs, because everybody has abs. You just don't see them because excuse me, after doing those hops, I've got something in my throat. See, it kind of cleanses your body out when you do exercise, which is a good thing. But whenever you, I mean, everybody has abs, but through the way that you eat, you can actually see them. And if you're working out in the gym and you're working on your abs, you're never going to see them. Even if you're doing all that work, you're not going to see the fruit of your labor. You're not going to see that work if you don't watch what you eat. So abs are made in the kitchen, but the better way of saying it is abs are made in the gym, but they're revealed in the kitchen. So you get in the gym and you work out, and you are in your living room. This is my gym, living room. I've never been a fan of the gym, but you work out your muscles, you build them up, and then then you reveal them by the way that you eat. Vice versa, if you eat really good but you never work out your abs, you're also never going to see them. You have to build them up. You have to exercise them, work them out to be able to see the definition, to be able to see them pop out. And the good thing about having a really strong core, your abs are called your core, and one good thing about this is when you're strong right here in your midsection, it makes everything else that you do, every other activity that you do, easier. And whether that's bringing in the groceries or whatever. And it also makes your other exercises easier. And no matter what exercise you're doing, you're always going to be working out your abs. And having stronger abs makes it easier to do other exercises. I'll show you 3 ab exercises. They're really good. Okay, the first one, we're going to put our legs at an angle. So we're just going to hold them up, slightly lower them, and just do crunches. We're going to do 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep your chin up. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Blow out when you come up. 13, 14, 15. Lower them slowly. Alright, that's the hardest level. There's a variation. The first variation is just to hold your legs up like this and do them like that. That'd be the easiest way. Then the next hardest would be to put your legs straight up and do them like this. That's a little harder, and then even harder is to lower your legs the way I just did it, slightly like this. And of course, the more you do, the harder it'll be. And the more you lower your legs, the harder it will be. You can feel as you lower your legs, your core tightening. And so, I mean, you can even just barely do them off the floor like this. And that's a really hard, good way of doing it. Okay, the next one I want to show you is called V-ups. And we're going to go 10. So you're just going to lift your body up into a V shape. Like you're going to touch your toes. Really good. 8, 9. Got off balance. It's hard to keep your balance. Okay, and the last one is called tuck-ups. And you really have to keep your balance on the tuck-up. So, I'm going to go like this. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Those are a little hard. Those are advanced, the V-ups and the tuck-ups. The first thing that I started out with is just to simply lay down like this and do this. Instead of doing a complete V-up, just do this and do 10 of those. And it may seem really hard at first, but it gets easy. After in a week you'll be done with that, and that'll be super easy. So then once that gets super easy, you'll just keep your arms down by your side and lift your legs without the help of your arms, and that will be harder. There is also another good one, which I don't want to overwhelm you. I told you I was only going to show you 3. I'm trying to show you some variations. So yeah, we'll just save that other one for later. The first 3 that I did were really more advanced, but I showed you some variations on that so you can have something just to start out with. But so you start out with your the arms that we did the bicep curl, shoulder press, and tricep extension. And then we did the legs, so we did the hops, we did the hop that you throw your legs back like a push-up, and then we did the lunges, and then we did 3 of these ab workouts. So that's 9 exercises, so you would cycle through that. So we would, do that 3 times. So we go back and do arms, the legs again, the abs again, then one more time 3. So you would do that 3 times, that whole series. 3 times through, and that should be a pretty good workout for you. You have done something if you do all that 3 times. So Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, 3 days a week is good. You really need time to rest in between and let your muscles heal and restore and build. They're not going to build and grow. They don't have rest in between. So this last exercise I want to show you is the pull-up. Pull-ups are harder than chin-ups, and I used to watch girls do this. And I remember seeing this one girl do like 6 of these, and I was like, there's no way, oh my goodness, there's no way. Because I could barely do one. I could do like a half of one. I couldn't even do a whole pull-up. Well, I got up to where I was doing 9, and but I haven't been exercising like that for a while, and I haven't really been practicing it, so I kind of was working on another project, and so now I'm back down to about 5. But I can do about 5, so let's see how many I can do today after working my arms out 3 times. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Got 6 in today. Whew. Okay. Yeah, those are fun. Another thing you can do with this is to do your ab workouts. So you just hang and then tuck up. And the key here is to hold your core so tight that you don't swing. So it's really hard to not let your body swing. That's a great exercise there. All right, do what you were doing. Go ahead and do what you just did. Do it again. That's a great ab workout right there. Great ab workout. That's almost what I was doing. Made in the kitchen, but if you do a few exercises, you can really start to see them defined. If you don't do exercises, you're not going to see them pop out and see them defined. Then again, if you're eating too much, you're not going to pop out either. Everybody has abs, but if you have a layer of fat over them, you're not going to see them. So you just want to make sure you have the extra fat off, and then you can start working on, it's more motivating to actually be able to see them. So you can kind of see here and a line here, and then a line will start to form here and one here. Under the belly button, there's nothing there. And so you kind of see a line will kind of go down like this. But basically, if you don't work out, you're not going to see them. But
What else?
okay. Quads.
I feel like
Okay.
my muscle, like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but like, sometimes I don't think your muscle goes completely away, but you forget how to use it.
I don't know if you can see it.
Not too much, but that's the biggest
I just do
muscle
that part.
on you. And that's flexing. It makes your cardio a lot easier. And in cardio, if it's good cardio, there is some resistance in it. In cardio, there's some resistance training to it. So even though it's mostly cardio, you're getting some weight resistance in there with your body weight. And the weightlifting actually has some cardio to it, because when you're lifting weights, you're breathing and your heart gets pumping and you're sweating. And I used to just, for 8 months straight, I had done just weights 3 days a week, and I only did cardio like once every 2 weeks. I just didn't feel like I really needed it, and then I'd start to feel yucky and feel like I needed cardio, so I'll do it only once every couple weeks, because you do get some cardio with the weightlifting. You know, your heart does pump, and that is a reason for cardio. Your heart is a muscle. It needs to be built up too. It needs to be stronger, and the stronger your heart is from exercising it, from getting it really high and beating and exercising it, it causes you to be able to have a lot stronger heart and a slower heart rate. You certainly wouldn't want your heart to stop, because then you would be dead, but you want it to be slow, because the slower your heart rate is, that means the more fit it is. It doesn't have to work so hard to pump blood throughout your body. When you have a very high, very fast heart rate, that means your heart is having to work really, really hard to keep you alive. You want a really slow heart rate. Like 50 beats per minute, somewhere in there, is athletic. That's like really, really good. And so the lower the better. For women, like an average range, I think, is like in like 70 something, and for men it's like around 60 something per minute, beats per minute. So you want to get that down. Like if you can get it down around 50 to 60, I mean, you're very fit, and your heart's very fit. Another interesting little bit of information is that when for every 1 extra pound that you are overweight, I don't know exactly how much it's the length of the blood vessels in the veins, but it's really a lot. And I don't know if it's like a mile or something, I can't remember, but for every extra pound of weight that you have, extra weight on your body that's overweight that you have, that is that much more that your heart has to pump blood through. So it's going to have to work harder to pump more blood through more length of those veins to get through that extra weight that's on your body. So you can see how that's one other reason that being overweight, even by 1 pound, being overweight causes you to have extra burden for your body to have to work. All your other organs are put stress on. That heart has to pump blood throughout that extra weight, that extra fat, that extra part of you. The lungs have to work harder, liver has to work harder, kidneys have to work harder to push everything through all that extra body. So that is why being overweight is not just a cosmetic thing. It's not that. It is about being healthy, and we all know that if you have extra weight, it isn't healthy. So this is another reason. It's going to put extra stress on your heart, and you're not going to live as long. So you really want to get that extra weight off. Now, saying that at 1 pound, there's no set amount of weight that you should weigh. There's a range. There's a healthy range for your height and your age and your gender. So it's not like you can go 1 pound and be, I was 1 pound over. It's a pound outside of the range. So if you're pushing it at the top of the range and then you're going a pound, another pound over, then that's where you want to look out for. It's not like you have a certain number that you need to be. There's a range that is healthy. It's good that we have a range where, a little more, a little less. I mean, somewhere in this area is where you need to be, and not like this exact number. But somewhere in this range is where you need to be, and if you start to go out of that range, even by 1 pound, it's going to really make it harder on your body. So, cardio and weights really go hand in hand, and I used to do the cardio all the time because I was really afraid of weights, especially as a woman. I didn't want to get big and bulky or anything like that. And I'm telling you, ladies, you're not going to get big and bulky like men. We just don't have it in our system to do that. All those women that you see that are bodybuilders and they have lots of big muscles and they look really, I'm sorry, but to me, very unnatural, actually gross and disgusting to me. I'm sorry, but that's just my personal opinion. That is from steroids. I mean, that is not natural. I don't do anything at all. I don't use any supplements whatsoever. I don't use protein powder. I don't use vitamins or anything. I just drink water, and I'll have a banana or an orange before I start, because that really, really gives you the energy you need to, gives you some really quick energy. And that's all that I do. I used to take vitamins. I used to take protein powder. I don't do any of that anymore. But I do take my green smoothies. Not before I do cardio, but after. I like to do cardio on an empty stomach, just completely fasted cardio. I can really put everything into it. And if I eat even a smoothie before I do my cardio, it just really weighs me down. I mean, not so much the smoothies really don't. Maybe a smoothie, like half a smoothie, would probably just get me going, or like just eating a banana would get me going. But if you eat too much, I mean, more than one banana, I mean, it just really makes it hard to do. I feel that I get indigestion when I'm trying to work out. You don't want to eat while you're right before you work out or right after you work out. So I just prefer to do nothing when I work out. That can give it all I have. I don't have to worry about something in my stomach messing with me, and I just do it that way. And then I'll eat afterwards a little bit. And it's really interesting how whenever you get really hot and heated up and you're exercising, that it's kind of like you don't really want to eat, right away. You don't really want a lot. It seems like it really suppresses your appetite. That's another great thing about exercise. It really seems like it I don't know what it is. It's some kind of chemicals that go in your body, or the endorphins that are released, that it just seems like it suppresses your appetite. You just really aren't that hungry. You get some other fix somehow when you exercise. So that's another way of keeping your weight down, besides what all you just did to lose some of the fat. But even if you got to the point where you want to be, and you still want to maintain that. So you want to, even if you're not trying to lose weight, you just want to maintain, then it's good for that too. So anyway, so that's a little bit about what I do. And you know, I used to just do cardio and I never lifted weights, but then whenever I started lifting weights, one thing you do want to do when you lift weights, and this is hard for a lot of girls because they really don't want to do it because they're afraid they're going to get big and bulky, you know, and they just want to have some shape and definition, and that's what you'll get. But you don't want to spend all your time in there just doing these little bitty pounds, these little bitty weights, little 5-pound weight. I mean, that is just a waste of your time. You've got to lift heavy. You've got to lift heavy enough to make a change. No challenge, no change. So if you want your body to change, you want to transform the shape of your body, you have to challenge it. And so you have to do a heavy enough weight that's actually going to change the shape of your muscles, to change the shape of your body. You know, a lot of women are just too afraid to do that, and so they do these little bitty weights. They don't do anything, or they'll do a little bit that's kind of hard, and they do a lot. And that's just, I mean, I'm sorry, but if I'm going to be in there lifting weights and sweating and doing heavy stuff, I want it to count for something. I don't want to be in there just to be in there. I want it to change something in me. So I want to go ahead and make it hard and heavy and just go ahead and do it. And then you'll be surprised. You definitely want to have a rest day in between, because that gives your muscles time to repair, and that's what makes them grow and builds them. So you want to have some time for your muscles to repair. You don't want to work them out every day. If you do arms one day, don't do them the next day. Do your legs or do something else. Or do your whole body one day and the next day don't do anything. When it comes to abs, it seems like, I mean, you know, they're a muscle too. They're just smaller muscles. And it seems like you would be, you know, needing to let them rest too in order for them to be built up. But I think there must be something a little bit different about abs. I think you can work them every day. Maybe it's because they're smaller muscles. But one thing about abs is that you do work, your abs get worked no matter what. If you're doing, no matter what activity you're doing, your abs do get worked from it. Now you can do ab workouts where you're actually just focusing on them and working them really hard. But any workout that you do is going to work your abs. If you do legs, you're working your abs. If you're doing your arms, you're working your abs. Especially if you pay attention to it and you really hold your core really tight. You hold your abs tight to help you do that. When you're lifting like this with a dumbbell, you're holding your abs really tight so that you can lift that's another good thing about having a strong core and getting your abs really tight and hard and building ab muscle is so that the rest of the things that you do, this is kind of your center and your core, and everything else, if you have a good, tight, hard, muscular, strong core, then everything else you do, every other activity you do, whether it's bringing in the groceries or doing something on your job or whatever, it makes every other job easier, because whenever your core is really strong, it helps lifting anything be easier, because you're not lifting just from here, you're lifting, you know, you're holding on strong with your center, and that kind of helps keep you strong everywhere else. So it just helps you to lift everything else. So having a strong abs are going to help all your other exercises, and when you do your other exercises, it's going to help your abs. So it all just kind of works together that way. And I was really excited after I had started doing my ab work. I mean my lifting weights a lot. When I was doing that, it started to, then I did my cardio, and I was like, wow, this isn't as hard as it used to be. This is fun now. And it gets to be fun. Even lifting weights get to be fun whenever you gain strength and you get stronger, and it just helps you be able to, you know, it just makes it easier, and it's more fun when it's easier. Not easy, but easier when you can actually, you know, handle doing it. And that really is when it gets fun. I think I've talked enough about exercise and muscles for now. It seems like there's something I'm forgetting, and I'm sure there is, but we'll come back to this, but I just kind of wanted to go ahead and give a brief introduction to some of the things that I do and how I think about it. I still haven't really quite figured it all out, because like the kitchen and we start doing smoothies and stuff, get some vegan muscle. And don't be afraid to go in there and get, you know, some vegan muscle going on. Because life is about, you know, living healthy. The Bible says, I pray that you will prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So want to be strong, want to be in good health, and you can do it.